If someone ever told you you can't do something, that is just the kind of person Jordan Deitch is proving wrong. At a young age, he was told by doctors that they doubted he would ever be able to tie his own shoes. Today, he's doing that and much more, shocking doctors and everyone else along the way.
Well, first I watched him and I didn't think much of Jordan. He didn't throw real hard. He was okay. He was a good pitcher. And he had a guy that represented him that said, you really should meet Jordan. And I said, okay, I'll meet him. And it was kind of a courtesy. And Jordan came up to me right away and shook my hand, looked me in the eye and said, hey coach, I'm Jordan Deitch. And I thought, as soon as I shook his hand, geez, this is a different player.
Jordan was born with amniotic band syndrome, a birth defect that occurs when the fetus becomes entangled in the amniotic bands in the womb, restricting blood flow and affecting a baby's development. Jordan was born with a thumb, 3/4 of an index finger, a partial ring finger, and a pinky on his left hand, the hand he is dominant with. His right hand almost mirrors his left, except his full finger is a pinky.
Some doctors said I couldn't do anything. I'll be lucky to be able to do basic things like tie my shoes, write, do anything, like any basic needs that you need in life.
In second grade, after his sixth surgery since he was 6 years old, with a cast on his right hand, Jordan picked up his brother's glove.
I took my brother's glove, which was extremely small. I put it on my left hand, and I would take ground balls with the glove hand, somehow throw the glove up, take the ball out of the glove, and finish the throw just so I could keep playing.
At 9 years old, Jordan told his father that he wanted to pitch. His dad and coach at the time wasn't sure if he was ready.
He didn't want me to give up and get down on myself and then eventually say and eventually quit, because it wasn't about that. It was a bigger picture than just that. He never told me no on the mound. If I said I wanted to pitch, and he wasn't easy. He wouldn't just let me pitch whenever I wanted. But he wouldn't discourage me or anything. A lot of it was just letting me go out there, and I struggled. It was horrible. It was the worst time I've ever pitched, and I don't think I recorded an out all inning, and I just walked everybody, hit people, threw the ball off the backstop, walk guys, everything. And eventually it got to the point it was 10-0 in the first inning. Luckily the team came back and tied the game, so I was off the hook.
Jordan moved up the ranks and was eventually promoted to the Comac varsity team in his junior year. But playing college ball seemed unlikely.
I was debating on playing baseball. I had some other options besides New Paltz, and then it was between the 3 other schools, including New Paltz and Penn State. And it came down to about the first weekend in March. I took a visit to Penn State, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I made my decision. I was going to Penn State. After one of our games and stuff, Coach Ryder, I was sitting at the top of the bleachers, and Coach Ryder came and poked me on the side. And I thought it was my dad trying to ask me something or whatever. And I turned around and knocked him. I was mad. I was Dad, get away. And I turned around, and it was Coach Ryder, and we talked after, and he basically said that he just got the job here, and he was very impressed with the way that I handled myself on the mound with the rain, and he said he's heard about my story before. And I came to the camp in October, did pretty well, and we just went from there, and it felt like a perfect fit after I decided that I was definitely going to play in college.
Few were happier to hear the news than Coach Ryder, a former Johns Hopkins assistant in his first year as head coach at New Paltz, putting together his first recruiting class.
Just something about the way he handled himself on the mound, the way he persevered through the games. There was something special there with Jordan.
But Jordan's mentality is only a portion of what he brings to the team. The rest is only evident from behind home plate.
Compared to the other guys on the team, his ball moves naturally a lot more, I think. It's not so much harder. In fact, it's actually much slower, but the fact that every pitch he throws moves, and I don't even know if he knows which way it's going because I never really know which way it's going.
I don't really know the difference between his pitches. I've known him now for 2 years, and he says he throws a fastball, two-seam, a four-seam, slider, changeup. To tell you the truth, I don't know which one he's actually throwing. I can't tell. The ball moves all over the place. So if I can't tell what he's throwing, I can't imagine the hitter knows what he's throwing.
Jordan is a relief pitcher, which means his role is to come in the middle of games, often in nerve-wracking situations.
After guys who come out throwing in the mid-80s, Jordan comes in and changes up the speed and movement so he can keep the hitters off balance a lot better than a lot of other pitchers.
When he comes out of the bullpen, it's definitely a complete transition for like the pace of the game, and for myself, I know if Connor Donaghy's starting the game, he throws mid to upper 80s, so he's throwing a pretty good fastball, and then when Jordan comes in, he's throwing probably low 70s and with a lot of movement, so I need to tell myself to make sure my positioning is good and just be ready for whatever movement his ball is going to have that day.
You know, I think it's just that desire to overcome obstacles. And with baseball, there's so many obstacles. There's so much failure. And here's someone that has been dealing with that their whole life. I remember Jordan talking about when he was growing up, it was hard enough for him to tie his shoelaces. And people said that he's going to need help doing that. Well, he proved them wrong. And then certainly people told him he wasn't going to be able to play baseball, let alone pitch. And he's proved them wrong. So I think our coaching staff sees that. We believe that we can do anything. And our other players see that and think, geez, if he's working this hard and he can do this, why can't I do this?
In his first season at New Paltz, Jordan pitched 8 1/3 innings, struck out 6 batters, and finished with a 4.32 ERA. While Jordan's condition might be classified as a disability, he has proven it to be his advantage.
More than anything, Jordan has inspired me by overcoming adversity. He came into a great Division III program with a big disability, and especially on his pitching hand, it's very tough as just a pitcher that's not disabled to compete, and he goes out there every day and competes and does a great job of it.
And he's a guy who keeps his head up and he keeps going every day with what he's dealing with, so he's definitely a good guy to have around.
He's a model for overcoming adversity, and our coach talks a lot about overcoming adversity throughout the season. In all of our games, how can we come back after facing adversity? And Jordan does that every day.
I think I learn from every player that I have, but he's certainly a special one that you learn a little bit more from. Just some of the adversity that he's faced. It teaches me about people in general, how to work with people and help them get through things in life. So certainly he's helped me rethink the way I approach the game of baseball.
Everything happens for a reason, and this is something, for whatever reason, this was my reason to get there. And I'm gonna take it and run with it. And like I said in other stories, I might not be here if I don't have this. I might not be able to pitch in college, who knows? So it's important to just take what I was given and go with it.